So you want to build a super brain. So do I. I think we all do, right? And one thing that's always working against us is time. We're all getting older. Brain health is becoming such a hot topic right now because we're starting to understand how important the mind is, how important the brain is in determining our functional capacity, right? Our strength, our flexibility, our mobility, but also all the cognitive processes that go on as we live our lives day to day. So in this video, we're going to look at 3 wonderful foods and 3 exercises that you can do to stimulate the growth of neurons, or brain cells that facilitate all the communication throughout your body, all right? We're gonna look at the foods, the exercise that you should be doing to stimulate that growth, leave you feeling great, to increase your functional capacity, and hopefully add years to your life, add healthy years to your life. That's what this is all about, right? Let's get to it. All right, so first let's look at our 3 super brain foods. Now, a lot of times eating for brain health, that can get confusing and it's very general, right? So what we're gonna do is I wanna let you know, first of all, we're gonna focus on 2 things. One is the elimination of free radicals through consuming antioxidants. Very important. Free radicals create fogginess in our heads, leave us feeling tired, lethargic. When we consume antioxidants, we can eliminate some of that stuff in our system and leave us feeling great. Another thing that we're going to look at is the consumption of fatty acids. These compounds have been shown in clinical studies that help actually generate brain cells, generate neurons. So the 3 foods that we're going to look at that contain large amounts, mostly, of all those things, or at least one of those things, are pumpkin seeds, blueberries, and salmon. First of all, let's start with pumpkin seeds, all right? Full of fatty acids, great food to consume to get your fatty acid intake for the day, but we're also looking at things like glutamate and magnesium, and these 2 compounds have actually been shown in clinical studies to help reduce stress. How great is that too for brain health, right? Now we have pumpkin seeds here. We also have pumpkin seed oil if you're looking more for a supplement. So 2 great options there. You can usually find pumpkin seeds at any grocery store, right? The pumpkin seed oil mostly found at like a supplement store, a nutrition store, general health store. Next, we have blueberries. These are always at the top of the list for any brain health type of information, right? But blueberries are filled with those antioxidants that help eliminate free radicals. They contain only about 84 calories per cup, so it's a calorie diet-friendly food as well. You can either consume the fruit itself, or there's also a blueberry concentrate. Now here, you can find this typically at specialized health food stores. Blueberry concentrate, usually the bottle will tell you like X number of teaspoons or tablespoons equals X number of blueberries, so you can make the adjustments as needed there, but put it in smoothies, take it as a supplement, great stuff as well. The last thing that we have, again, at the top of most brain health lists for food consumption is salmon, right? Salmon's filled with the great EPA and DHA fatty acids. This particular food is what was actually consumed in some of those clinical studies that I was referencing earlier that found that the consumption of fatty acids can help boost the generation of brain cells. So wonderful stuff. Also, if you or one of your clients or patients has a form of dementia like Alzheimer's or Parkinson's, fatty acids have also been shown to help kind of minimize the onset or severity of some of the symptoms that are associated with those illnesses, like brain fog, muscle tremors, fatigue, and things like that. So great stuff right here. Now, aside from what you should be eating, what should we be doing? How should we be moving? How should we be stimulating our brain dynamically to facilitate new neural connections and generate those brain cells? We're gonna go over 3 movements next, 3 really simple exercises that you can do in combination with your diet to create that super brain. Let's get to it. All right, you guys, so the first exercise that we're gonna do to stimulate the brain is really simple. You can do it seated or standing. You don't need any equipment. We're gonna make 2 fists, all right? Let's bring the fists in front of the body here, direct towards one another. One hand, you're gonna extend the thumb. The other hand, you're gonna extend the pinky, all right? So thumb up, pinky out. Now what we're gonna do is to attempt to switch positions simultaneously. So in this hand, the pinky comes out. In this hand, the thumb comes up. You're gonna try and do that fast, okay? Try that. Now that little drill right there should be really challenging for you. It's a fine motor skill drill, and what's great is there's lots of nerve endings, lots of motor nerves that run from our digits through our hands, arms, into our brain. Really beneficial stuff. Stimulate the brain. You get different regions of the body communicating with each other more, and those fine motor skills can translate into lots of other things we do. What you can do for that exercise is, I would start with picking maybe 20 to 30 seconds, just practicing back and forth, thumb, pinky, thumb, pinky. Then you can try it to the beat of a metronome if you have one of those available, or you can scale the movement even more by trying to do that same drill while balancing on one leg or staggering your feet. So we provide a balance challenge as we're engaging in this neural drill. Really beneficial for getting different regions of the brain integrated and stimulating those neurons. Let's go on to exercise number 2. All right, you guys, movement number 2 to build a super brain. We're gonna call this eye tracking. Lots of different things that we can do here under the eye tracking category to build the brain. Most people don't know your eyes are directly embedded into your brain. All right, lots of integration between the visual system and the brain. Lots of clinical research has found that of all of our sensory systems, vision is most important to balance. So if you're not including visual challenges into your training, you should be, all right, especially for building brain health. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do an eye tracking drill. What this involves is putting your body into a position that compromises your balance. So it can either be a stance position, where like my feet are staggered, kind of like I'm on a tightrope, okay? Or I can balance on one leg. Pick a stance position where your balance is compromised, and then we're gonna do an eye tracking drill. I'm gonna use the active motion glimpse bar here because it's filled with these ball bearings and there are white ones in the middle, and this is like a level for your body, stimulating that visual system as you try to visually keep those 3 white ball bearings somewhere in the center of the bar is a phenomenal way to engage that visual system and create more connectivity in the brain. If you don't have access to an active motion glimpse bar, you can put yourself in one of these positions and have a partner, someone else, be holding like a tennis ball or something and be moving it around in space. And you would follow that object with your eyes as you're trying to balance on one leg, stimulating the visual system in similar ways. But here's what I'm gonna do for this exercise. I'm gonna grab my glimpse bar on those white lines. I'm gonna try to turn the window towards me now so I can see those white lines. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna balance on one leg, and all I'm gonna do is bring the bar straight up in front of me and try to keep those 3 white ball bearings somewhere within view. That weight is always shifting slightly, so I'm never gonna be able to fully keep it perfectly still. That's not the object here. The weight is always moving. My eyes are always tracking those 3 white ball bearings, integrating those muscular tasks with balance, with the visual tasks. You can imagine how much activity is taking place in the brain. Great little drill to try. Let's move on to number 3. Okay, the third exercise to build the super brain, to build this incredible, immaculate, functional, dynamic, intelligent brain is going to be a vestibular challenge. So for those of you who are not familiar with the vestibular system, it is kind of like your internal built-in balance system. These little fluid-filled canals in your ears sense movement of your head when that fluid shifts, and based on the reactions that take place in that system, muscles are activated to keep your body upright, erect, and safe. Unfortunately, as we get older, the system breaks down. So we're gonna provide a vestibular challenge in our training to help stimulate that region of the brain, build our balance, but also create lots of communication between that system and other regions of the body as well. To create a vestibular challenge, a lot of you guys already do it in a lot of your exercise. Anytime we're hip hinging, laterally flexing, moving dynamically, we're creating a vestibular challenge essentially. But what we're gonna do is create a more dynamic and specific vestibular challenge. So I want you to pick an exercise or a balance position first. Let's keep it simple. Pick like a squat, a lunge, a hinge movement like a deadlift, or a balance position like a staggered stance, tightrope we'll call it, or a single leg balance. Whatever one of those positions or exercises you decide to do, during that balance, hold, or exercise, I want you to turn your head back and forth like you're gesturing no. All you're doing is you're stimulating that vestibular system, and you're gonna find it also kind of creates disorientation because your eyes are moving, right? So you should be letting your eyes follow that movement. If it's too difficult, you can leave your eyes fixed on something, but if you want to up the challenge, let your eyes move as well. So we're creating that vestibular system challenge. We're just turning the head. So if I were to balance on one leg here, and I would turn my head like I'm saying no. And right away, you're gonna feel less stable because your spatial orientation is thrown off and there's a bigger neural demand. If I'm squatting, do the same thing, I'll be turning my head no. Sometimes it's hard to sync up these movements too, and people might think you're a little fruity if you're sitting there doing this in the gym, But hopefully, based on what I said, you can explain to them why you're doing it, right? That's the rationale. You're stimulating the vestibular system, getting that balance system talking to your brain more during your movement. You can imagine how that would translate into what we're doing outside of the gym. So those are our 3 exercises, you guys, as part of our Super Brain little blog post here. Hope you enjoyed all the content. If you have any questions, reach out to us at activemotionbar.com. If you want to try one of our glimpse bars, which you can also use during that exercise that I just did as another stimulus, go to our website, activemotionbar.com, click on the store page, you'll find all the products there. Thanks for watching. Keep stimulating that brain, and we'll see you next time.